Welcome, this is Recidiva. I'm sharing a recording of a casual Skyrim playthrough using a mod list I built. My profound thanks to all the mod creators who have made this game a crowdsourced treasure. I hope you enjoy. Hi, this is Recidiva. I'm going to start doing a recorded run through of my mod list. I'm not using anybody else's mod list or lineup, but I am using everybody else's mods. I don't mod myself, I don't make them. But I've had a lot of fun putting together my own list. I've got a kitty in my lap right now. Say hello, Vandal. And it might be a little loud every now and then, but I'm going to try to edit out some of the sounds, and there might be some stuttering here and there because I live in a noisy place. So, right now, I'm starting in the abandoned prison, which comes from the Live Another Life mod. And I've already set my character up. She's right here. Her name is Saleya. She's covered in dirt because that's a mod too. She's got cute little horns. She's a Bosmer. Since I've played the game for what Steam has told me about 2,600 hours, I'm not going to be doing any particular role-playing where I pretend I don't know what's going to happen. So this run through is going to be just mod appreciation. I'm not going to set the difficulty very high, but since I'm going to be getting companions pretty much right away, I'm going to set it to somewhere reasonable. So right now it's adept. That's fine. I'll have a few companions that will help me out, and I like those mods as well. So I have some needs running. If you see in the lower left corner, you see a little bread loaf and a little drop of water. That means I am hungry, thirsty, and the moon means I'm tired. So, I'm crabby. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I've been stuck in here for a very long time. So, to deal with the fact that, yes, there is magic in the world, but I have even, weirder magic, which I understand. I load things, I can have money anytime I want. Things go pretty easily for me. So, she's going to be the accidental daughter of Dibella and Sheogorath, explaining how she can have a decent sense of humor and some experience in the world and really isn't a level 1 character, and also seems to be able to predict where to go and what's going to happen and not be terribly surprised. So she's going to play. So I'm kind of playing a character who's playing a character, and she's going to play a young woman who was raised in the Green Pact as a Bosmer, and the Green Pact, by lore, means that Bosmer don't eat of the leaf or branch, and even though that's supposed to be only in Valenwood, and she's now in Skyrim and it doesn't hold, she still has a sort of weird attachment to that idea, but she's the opposite of that. She loves apple pies, and that would have been impossible in her youth. So she's mostly vegetarian now, and she considers most of the things she eats to be some sort of secretive, amazing eating disorder. So food is very important to her, and we'll be taking care of that. I got a bunch of mods that give her unique foods that she likes. They've got food buffs, so her priorities are going to be mostly creature comforts, and my priorities are often going to be, I'm going to meander. I'm going to read the books. I'm going to just appreciate the mod list of a gorgeous world without doing much in the way of role play, and my commentary will be mostly we're going to read the lines aloud, but we're going to have opinions. So, there are two ways that I usually start. Sometimes I start by going to the Legacy of the Dragonborn Guildmaster right away, but part of the reason I'm playing now is that Legacy of the Dragonborn, that huge mod, just updated last week, and I want to see what it's about. So some of this stuff is going to be completely new to me. I haven't done it yet. I've tested some of it, and some of it has made me crash. but I just want to reboot my mod list, redo it. I've redone and updated a ton of things, and we'll see what comes of that. So I start with the Kaidan mod as my first follower, and he is right through that door. He's right up there. So that's where I'm going to go first, and she's going to be just cognizant of wanting to get out of this place. I don't have a real. I haven't written or thought some anything major for why she's in this prison, but her history is essentially Sheogorath is her father, Dibella is her mother, but they weren't a happy couple. They were tricked by Sanguine into that being a thing, and Sanguine also influenced putting her in this prison for her to be here forever to rot. So who knows how long she's been here, but this is her chance. Mara is intervening. So I'll give some comments about the mods. I won't remember all their names. This isn't really. If anybody has any questions, if you hear that clearing of the voice, that's not me. That's the character telling me that she's now thirsty, hungry, and even more tired while I was talking. But so if you have any questions about the mods or my load order or anything, I'm happy to answer. But I don't really want to front load a ton of mod appreciation other than general mod appreciation. I'm amazed and really grateful for everything people have put out there. So, but since I don't actually make them and I strung them together, I'm not really an authority. I just know what I like. So, here we go.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
I want to escape this cell.
So be it.
Alright, so this mod begins with the Firmament. The Firmament by Folk. The stars of Tamriel are divided into 13 constellations. 3 of them are the major constellations known as the Guardians. These are the Warrior, the Mage, and the Thief. Each of the Guardians protects its 3 charges from the 13th constellation, the Serpent. When the sun rises near one of the constellations, it is that constellation's season. Each constellation has a season of approximately 1 month. The Serpent has no season, for it moves about in the heavens, usually threatening one of the other constellations. The Warrior. The Warrior is the first Guardian constellation, and he protects his charges during their seasons. The Warrior's own season is last seed, when his strength is needed for the harvest. His charges are the Lady, the Steed, and the Lord. Those born under the sign of the Warrior are skilled with weapons of all kinds, but prone to short tempers. The Mage. The Mage is a Guardian constellation whose season is Rain's Hand, when Magicka was first used by man. His charges are the Apprentice, the Golem, and the Ritual. Those born under the Mage have more Magicka and talent for all kinds of spellcasting, but are often arrogant and absent-minded. The Thief. The Thief is the last Guardian constellation, and her season is the darkest month of Evening Star. Her charges are the Lover, the Shadow, and the Tower. Those born under the sign of the Thief are not typically thieves, although they take risks more often, and only rarely come to harm. They will run out of luck eventually, however, and rarely live as long as those born under other signs. The Serpent. The Serpent wanders about in the sky and has no season, though its motions are predictable to a degree. No characteristics are common to all who are born under the sign of the Serpent. Those born under this sign are the most blessed and the most cursed. The Lady. The Lady is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is Hearthfire. Those born under this sign of the Lady are kind and tolerant. So not many of them in this land, I would say. The Steed. The Steed is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is mid-year. Those born under the sign of the Steed are impatient and always hurrying from one place to another. The Lord. The Lord's season is first seed, and he oversees all of Tamriel during the planting. Those born under the sign of the Lord are stronger and healthier than those born under other signs. The Apprentice. The Apprentice's season is sun's height. Those born under the sign of the apprentice have a special affinity for magic of all kinds, but are more vulnerable to magic as well. The Atronach. The Atronach, often called the Golem, is one of the mage's charges. Its season is sun's dusk. Those born under this sign are natural sorcerers with deep reserves of magicka, and they cannot generate magicka of their own. The Ritual. The Ritual is one of the mage's charges, and its season is morning star. Those born under this sign have a variety of abilities depending on the aspects of the moon and the divine. The moon's and the divine's. The Lover. The Lover is one of the thief's charges, and her season is sun's dawn. Those born under this sign of the Lover are graceful and passionate. The Shadow. The Shadow season is second seed. The Shadow grants those born under her sign the ability to hide in shadows. Well, that's a little on the nose, isn't it? The Tower. The Tower is one of the thief's charges, and its season is frostfall. Those born under the sign of the Tower have a knack for finding gold and can open locks of all kinds. Okay, so this gives me the opportunity to choose my sign. Except it's not. Okay, I guess I'm not choosing my sign? What is going on? The book is bugged, maybe because I already chose my origin. Choose my sign. It won't let me. Okay. Usually I go for the Lover, but right now it's not going to let me. The Lover will give me 10% to skill gains, although this is slightly bugged, and that's okay. I'll just go pick up the sign later. Prisoner's Journal. So long in this wretched place, I hardly remember the feeling of sunlight on my skin or the sound of wind in the grass. I barely remember my own name. At least I can stay clean with this mirror. My belongings, or what is left of them, are locked away, rusting, and eaten by moths. I have a single book in my name and memorized it. I have a single book to my name and memorized it long ago. My security plan is hidden, too, until the day I find an opening to use it. Perhaps it will not be necessary. I must pray to Lady Mara for my salvation and freedom. I think the security plan is the lockpicks in this corner. Which, yeah. Lockpicks. Okay. That helps because she only gives you 3. Let's see if I can pick my path. Will you let me choose my sign this time? No? Yes? No? No. Okay. We're giving up. We're gonna go get Kaidan. So I guess the trick there is don't ask Lady Mara for help until after you have read that book. Okay, so I use auto loot. It's gonna pick up everything for me, or it should, if it were working. Okay, now it's working. Good. Alright, I use a bow. I have a few simple sets of gear already loaded, and I usually just start with a few things. I give myself no falling damage, so I do a lot of cheating. I'm okay with it. This is Kaidan from the Kaidan 2 mod, and I always have fun with this one.
When I get out of here, I'll kill you all myself.
Easy now, I'm here to help.
What? Who are you?
I'm Celea.
You're not with the Thalmor, are you? Quick, get me free from here before more come.
Why are you in here?
The Thalmor invited me to high tea. What do you think? I don't know. Some Justicars ambushed me outside of Falkreath.
Don't worry, I'll get you free.
You're a lifesaver.
I found a healing potion here.
A bottled miracle, this stuff. Thank you. Wait, there's one more thing. One of the Thalmor got his hands on my sword. I know I've got no right to ask, but I could use your help in getting it back.
The sword is that important?
This isn't me being sentimental. They kept asking about it. If it's important to them, they shouldn't have it.
Where did he go?
Headed deeper into the prison. And with luck, he's cornered like a rat.
Alright, I got a little something to drink, so that's good. We're on pretty easy difficulty, so I'm not gonna mess much with gear.
What was that?
I was gonna try to pickpocket, but... Oh, and now I just shot Kaidan in the butt, which is not great. This fight's really only hard on Legendary, which I'm not on. You found a fate card! These cards are grouped into decks of 13 cards of the same type. When you possess at least one of each card of the type and use any of the cards from that set in your inventory, one of each card of that set will combine to form a deck which will provide special powers, skills, and abilities while it is carried in your inventory. So that's from Legacy of the Dragonborn, and I've never made a deck, so I can't tell you anything about that. Usually they just hang out in my inventory and make me sad. We'll see if we do any better this time. Okay, so my auto looter is grabbing everything, which is nice. Put healing on my bar. The risk of hitting Kaidan in the butt with an arrow is very high.
Damn you!
That's awkward.
Son of a bitch had it coming. I can't thank you enough. I know you didn't have to help me.
What's the story with this sword?
The question on everyone's mind, even mine. The sword belonged to my mother. I never knew her, but it's my only real clue to finding out who she was. Listen, I owe you my life, and I'm not a man who's comfortable being in debt. If you ever have need of me, I'd be glad to fight alongside you till that debt is repaid.
I'd be glad to have you travel with me.
I am your sword and shield. You found the rest of my gear. Mind if I get that armor back? It's been my second skin for years now.
Go on then.
Till later then.
Something I can do for you?
So what happened with the Thalmor?
Aye, guess I owe you that. I'd been trying to find a way to cross the border into Pale Pass. In the meantime, I'd been picking up bounty contracts to keep some coin in my pocket. I must have drawn too much attention to myself. I'd been camping by the lake when they ambushed me. Seems the Thalmor don't ever need much evidence to bring in a suspect. They took one look at that sword, decided I'd be a good target for interrogation, and dragged me off to that abandoned prison.
Weren't you scared?
Brynjar used to say, if you're not a little afraid, you're not understanding the situation. Fear I can deal with easily enough. But there was a moment or two when I started to think it really would be the end for me. The Thalmor would never have let me go, no matter what I told them. You faced down mortality too. Perhaps you know the feeling.
Yes.
You really are formidable, aren't you? I could almost feel sorry for your enemies.
The Thalmor will come after you again, you know.
Probably. And I'll be ready for them. Live and learn, right?
If you're sure that's all.
Okay, this is the Winter Sun mod, Religion. Most denizens of Tamriel are religious. You may choose to follow a deity, receiving a minor blessing and learning about their sacred tenets. If you wish to follow a different deity later, find and activate their shrine in the world. I worship Akatosh. That will give me a 10% experience bonus. It says, pray once a day to strengthen your bond with this deity. Prayer is in the form of an ability. So, activate it, and I have a little animation for praying. And you can see up in the corner, Akatosh's favor with me is now 24%. I believe this is horse is added by the Kaidan mod, but I don't use it.
Sworn life debt before. And again, I was never chained up being tortured by arseholes either. First time for everything, I suppose.
Yes?
Are you alright?
Aye, I'm alright. Just glad to be out of that disgusting place and breathing fresh air again. How about you?
I could do with a rest. No doubt you feel the same way.
I like the thought of a rest.
Let's find somewhere safe to rest.
Sure thing.
Do you know this area well? Maybe where to look for work?
Well now, if we head over Whiterun Way, I know some people, good people, that might be worth checking in with. I seem to remember they always had the inside track on bounties.
Alright. Are there any family or old friends you might want to see?
Now that you mention it, there is. Haven't been that way in going on 10 years now. But if we're over Orkstead way, there's someone I'd like to check in on. A childhood mate of mine. Be nice to see how he's doing if we have the time.
We could do that. Any places you suggest we avoid?
Aye. There's a few places I've found to be not really worth visiting. Falkreath's one. Nothing much of an interest there. Dawnstar's another. That place is fucking cold. And I don't just mean the weather. Right. Let's move on.
Okay, so I'm going to take his advice and head toward Whiterun. I use the Aeon Bar mod for a horse. Summon a bull. So we're off. I do have an autosave mod, but I'm going to save a lot myself because highly modded games and the game itself really can crash often, so. Auto mine. It's nice. Okay, the kamikaze goat is new. And she's gonna attack me here usually, but I'm just gonna keep running. There's a little bit of lag every now and then. My clothes change when the weather changes. I have an outfit for snowy, rainy, and also my auto save mod will cause some stutters occasionally. So my seasons mod has all of these spring wildflowers. I start the game in the season of spring. It's just gorgeous. So I really just enjoy cantering on Anbar through the woods. I'm gonna ignore the stuff that's attacking for now. I'm just gonna make it to the house because we desperately need a nap. Sorry, frightened woman.
I'm in no mood for this shit. I like it here.
I'll tear you to pieces.
That takes care of that.
Okay, got here right in time to get yelled at by the companions.
You look strong. Come to Orbasker and be a companion.
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you.
You didn't look like you needed help.
Certainly not. But a true warrior would have relished the opportunity to take on a giant. That's why I'm here with my shield brothers.
What's a shield brother?
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
Can I join you?
Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in Gurvaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him,
That's right.
good luck.
Red. Ursine was well satisfied that night. Good times.
Okay there, Kaidan? Alright. I'm just gonna yoink everything from this farm. Appreciate the god rays through the beautiful trees. Look at that. Gorgeous. And one of my favorite spots. Come up here. Cause look! Baby chicks! Hi! I say hi to them at the beginning of every game. I don't really like the companions. So, we may or may not join. We'll see. They're mercenaries. They have no honor. I have a couple of mods. One to give me the option to not be a werewolf if I join, because I hate the vampire lord and werewolf forms. They're horrible. And I also hate being told that I smell like wet dog. I think that's rude. Look how pretty. And also a few mods so that the companions will always send you out to do something that is actually honorable instead of... I have had them like tell me to go beat up Arcadia. Like, why? So, if we do that, it will be different than the usual way it goes. Okay, this is Elysium Estate, which is a great modded player home.
Yes,
You're a ghost.
I am the caretaker of Elysium Estate.
I see. Do you know who owns this house?
This house is owned by Kinnereth.
Kinnereth. How can a home belong to a goddess?
Kinnereth has chosen many whom are worthy. The last owner died years ago. I think I died too. Something from the sky attacked and burned my body. Soldiers from Whiteman found me too late. I was dead. They buried my body with a headstone on the grounds.
I'm sorry to hear that. What are you doing here?
Kinnereth kept my soul here to find someone worthy. Are you worthy?
I don't know. I would just like to purchase the home.
Purchase it you cannot. However, if you wish to know more, you should visit Kinnereth's shrine in the garden. It would be enlightening.
Okay, I'll do that.
May Kaidan bless you.
I've come to speak to you, Kinnereth.
What do you want, traveler?
The ghost said I should come to your shrine. I would like to own this house.
What makes you worthy?
I believe I am deserving.
That is for me to decide. Let me look into your soul.
What did you find?
You have a purpose here in Skyrim. I see that. You may be my champion and live at Elysium Estate. Take care of her, and she will do the same. Part of me resides over this home. Do not forget that.
I always make fun of Kinnereth because it's presides, not resides, but okay. I spoke with Kinnereth.
You have been successful. Kinnereth found you worthy. It is wonderful to see this house turn into a home again.
What will become of you?
I no longer have to linger here. You have brought me peace. Kinnereth will let me go now. Blessings to you, worthy one.
I know Kinnereth is supposed to be one of the good guys, which always upsets me when one of my first stops means that I have to come here to release someone who's been a undead slave since the last Dragon Age. Seems pretty shitty, honestly. Here is her headstone, and you can get a heal, but I don't understand why you would limp all the way home and get a heal. Turn on the lights. Okay. I'm going to set the exteriors to have extra crafters so that I can craft in the backyard. You can also change the default plants in the front and plant your own hearthfire plants right here, but I'm not going to do that right now. In a lower difficulty game, I just don't need that many resources, so I'm not going to be doing as much planting as I would otherwise. I'm just going to let that be default. Here are the extra crafters that I put up, and I'm going to use the hot springs. So I have an auto bathing mod. She's covered in dirt. So I think all these mod makers have made such extraordinary homes. I want to appreciate them. So I think the base dirt and blood mod, they'll actually start commenting that you're like stinky, and I know your charisma goes down, and you're less able to make a speech check, and that's unfortunate. So I don't use the full mod. I don't really use a lot of things that have penalties. I just want to explore the game. I might be completely bugged. I'm not getting any experience, am I? Fun! Alright, we'll see. Okay, this home has every shrine to the 9. So It's a legacy of the Dragonborn. You need to discover the shrines as part of the game. So I'm going to go do that quickly. Take the chance to pray. Because as you saw, praying did not give me any favor. So we'll actually do the mod version of praying. Some of the shrines will give you credit for praying and some of them won't. It's going to depend on the expansion. And so I'll set the table with a couple of servings of fish. Table set, that's pretty. Okay. I have a few food and drink mods. I use gourmet, but I also use variety. So it gives me the chance to make tea from the blue, purple, and red mountain flowers. And I also, sorry, there's a purring kitty on my lap. I also use a mod. As you can see, I have an alchemy skill gains happening while I do this. So starting early in the game, it's pretty easy to get leeks and potatoes and mountain flowers, so I can make some good food pretty easily. I won't be starving. So to start out, mountain flower tea, because most of the game has like just straight alcohol to drink. Honestly, the base game you have to just get drunk a lot, and I'm not really into that, so it's flower tea. I also have a coffee mod, so when we get a little bit richer, we'll buy some coffee. Alright, so I'm going to favorite these, and I'll be able to quick get to potatoes, tea. Tell the mod that it's a drink that it doesn't recognize. And now both my indicators for food and drink are green. I'm just gonna take a nap. Okay, I'm making progress toward level 1. Good, okay. I'm not bugged. Alright, I wake up and 8 hours means I'm hungry again, so with... This is Sunhelm survival mod that's I've also altered to the way that I like it. That's what's going to keep track of whether or not I'm hungry and thirsty. I have it set to giving me no damage, but I like the reminders, just a roleplay reminder that I'm tired. Thanks for watching. Wishing you found family, creative hobbies, a hot bath after a long day, and food you love as much as Saleya loves apple pies.